Next, we are going to go over the pork, chicken, beef, and seafood categories. I'm going to explore these 4 categories together at the same time because they are very, very similar. I'll use the chicken section as a sample since chicken dishes are the most frequently ordered. On the top portion here are all the standard dishes that all restaurants will share. Now these buttons are always in the same place for all restaurants and for pork, beef, and shrimp as well. Don't believe me? Let's take a look. Here you have chicken and broccoli. Here you have pork and broccoli. Notice they're both on the top right corner here. Here you have beef and broccoli, and here you have shrimp and broccoli. Let's take a look at the hot and spicy dishes. Here you have hot and spicy chicken, hot and spicy pork, hot and spicy beef, hot and spicy shrimp. So the reason why we put each dish on the same spot is to make it easier for you to master many different restaurants later on. As a matter of fact, most of the categories that we've gone through so far also share this characteristic. For example, you will always find egg roll as the first button on the appetizer category for all restaurants. Let's click on another restaurant, China Star. Appetizer, you have the egg roll here. So let's look at Chinatown. You have wonton soup here. Let's come back to Great Wall Medina. Wonton soup is here. So essentially by mastering Great Wall Medina or Great Wall Main Street, you have mastered 90 to 95% of all the other restaurants that are on our platform. You just need to master the remaining 5 to 10% that's different for each of the other restaurants. For this same reason, it is very, very important that you get to know Great Wall very well and build a strong foundation. That way for the other restaurants you will learn in the coming days, it will become a lot easier. Anyway, let's come back to the chicken, pork, beef, and seafood categories. Notice that there are a few buttons here that are grayed out. What this means is that Great Wall does not offer these dishes that other Chinese restaurants may commonly carry. We still keep them here in order to have the other buttons stay in the same spot. So for example, if we didn't have chicken with almond ding here, all the other buttons would shift up by 1 spot, which would completely mess up the positioning of the other button. Now the preparation of these dishes in the 4 categories are all very similar. They are usually stir-fried in brown sauce with the vegetable that's stated in the dish's name. So for example, chicken and broccoli is chicken stir-fried with broccoli in brown sauce. Beef and broccoli is exactly the same, except it's with beef instead of chicken. Alright, well at this point, let's watch a video to see how beef and broccoli is prepared.
Cut the broccoli into bite-sized pieces. Next, cut 1/4 of a carrot into 1 inch or 2.5. This top round has been frozen about 30 minutes, so it's easier to cut into individual slices. You want to cut at a 45-degree angle against the grain. You want to cut about 1/8 of an inch or 3 mm in thickness. This is what it looks like. The meat is still partially frozen. Here I have 1 pound or 453 grams. Add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate, a pinch or a sprinkle of white pepper, 1/3 cup or 237 milliliter of water, or 1 to 2 egg whites, and mix. Add in 1/4 cup or 60 grams of cornstarch and mix. Mix until you don't see the cornstarch powder. Next, add in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and continue to mix. This is what it should look like. In a wok or a pot, add in some vegetable oil. Once 250 Fahrenheit or 121 Celsius has been reached, put the beef into the oil. It should only take about a minute or so. You only want your beef to be about 30% done or cooked when you're done frying. Once it reaches 325 Fahrenheit or 163 Celsius, put in the broccoli and fry the broccoli and carrots for 20 seconds. The reason for doing this way is to get a crunchy texture on the broccoli. After 20 seconds of frying, take out the beef and broccoli from the oil. Next, in a pot or wok, bring the water to a boil. Add the beef and broccoli into the boiling water and cook for 30 seconds. This will remove most of the excess oil. After 30 seconds of blanching, take the beef with broccoli out and set it aside. Next, in a bowl, add in 1 tablespoon of potato starch and 1 tablespoon of water, 1-to-1 ratio of potato starch to water. Next, add in 1 1/4 cup or 296 milliliter of brown sauce. Add in the potato starch mixture and stir until thick. Okay, on to the next step. Once the sauce thickens, add in the beef with broccoli. And now we're ready to wok and roll. Now just stir until all the beef with broccoli are coated with the sauce. So far you see me walk normally, and now I'm going to walk slowly, just so you can get a feel of how I walk. Sooner or later you'll be a walkaholic, just like me! And that's how you walk the walk, and now it's time for plating. Doesn't this look beautiful and delicious?
Now that you know how beef and broccoli is prepared, you know how most of the other dishes here are prepared by replacing the appropriate vegetable or meat or sauce. For example, chicken and bean sprouts is chicken with bean sprouts and brown sauce. Chicken and black bean sauce is chicken with mixed vegetable and black bean sauce. Chicken and broccoli obviously is chicken and broccoli with brown sauce. Chicken and cashew nuts, that one is actually a little different. We'll come back to this one later. Chicken with Chinese vegetable is chicken with Chinese vegetable, also known as bak choy, with brown sauce. Chicken and garlic sauce, that one is basically chicken with mixed vegetable with garlic sauce. This one is chicken with mixed vegetable with brown sauce. Chicken and mushroom is with brown sauce. Chicken and oysters, chicken with oyster sauce is chicken with mixed vegetable and brown sauce. Chicken and snow peas is also with brown sauce. Curry chicken with onion, that one is a little different. It's mainly chicken and onion and maybe carrots in curry sauce. Hot and spicy chicken, that's chicken with mixed vegetable and hot and spicy sauce. Hunan chicken is chicken with mixed vegetable and Hunan sauce. Kung Pao chicken, that one is a little different. Let's see a video to see how this dish is prepared.
Today we're going to make Kung Pao chicken. Let's prepare it by starting the sauce first. 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing rice wine, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of chili oil, 1 teaspoon of hot pepper powder or chili powder, 1/4 cup or 60 milliliter of unsalted chicken stock or water, and stir. Also another additional ingredient, 2 tablespoons of black vinegar. Do not mix it with the sauce. 3 cloves minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. Chop 3 sprigs of green onions. Separate the white part from the green part. The green part would be used as a garnish while the white part would be used for cooking. Cut 12 to 15 dried chilies in half. Prepare the chicken thigh. Trim away the fats and cut the thickest part of the thighs in half. This will ensure the thigh cook evenly. Next, cut the chicken into strips, then cut it into bite-sized pieces. So now it's time to marinate. Here I have 14 ounces of chicken thigh, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing rice wine or regular rice wine. Mix until all the liquids are absorbed. Add in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and mix until there is no powder. Once it's like this, add in half a tablespoon of oil and mix. This oil will actually prevent it from sticking to the wok. Next, let's prepare the slurry mixture. 1 teaspoon of potato starch plus 1 teaspoon of water. Now let's get cooking. In a wok or pan, add in 2 tablespoons of oil. Turn the fire to the lowest setting. Add in about 1/4 to 1/3 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorn. Add in the dried chilies. Saute the chilies for about 15 to 20 seconds or until fragrant. Add in the chicken and spread that leg out because it's getting hot in here. Turn the heat to medium setting and let it cook for about 30 seconds. Cook the other side for about 20 seconds. Then add in the green onions, garlic, and ginger and stir fry for about 20 to 30 seconds. Add in the sauce and let it cook in the sauce for about 20 seconds. At this point, the chicken is about 60 to 70% cooked. Because we cut it small and relatively thin, the time to cook the thighs is around 3 minutes, no more than 4 minutes. At this point, add in the slurry mixture and mix until it thickens. Turn off the heat and add in 1/2 cup roasted peanuts. Mix until the peanuts are well combined with the sauce. Lastly, with the fire off, add in the black vinegar and quickly mix. The reason we add the vinegar at the last stage of cooking with the fire off is because we don't want to lose the acidity of the vinegar. If you add it with the other sauce, you basically cook away the acidity of the vinegar. By the way, just FYI, when I use wok for stir frying, I always heat the wok until it's hot. Then turn off the fire and add in cold oil. The wok actually is still hot, but cold enough that it doesn't actually burn the food while at the same time producing a non-stick surface.
Szechuan chicken, that one is basically chicken with mixed vegetable in Szechuan sauce. So for now, you don't really have to completely memorize this, but it is very important you know where each of the dish is. So if a customer asks for chicken with Hunan sauce, you know immediately to come to here. That's very important. In terms of what dish come with what vegetable, that we can fill in the future. So now that we have done the standard dishes for these 4 categories, let's come to the bottom part here. So these are dishes that either are specific to a meat section or it's a special dish that this restaurant has that other restaurant may not have. So for example, General Tso's chicken. This one is probably one of the most popular dishes at a Chinese restaurant. Let's see how this one is prepared.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make General Tso's chicken. A measuring cup, add in 1 cup of soy sauce. Add in the green onion root. Next, add in the minced ginger. Add in 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. Add in 1/2 cup of cooking wine. Add in 1/3 cup of sugar. Add in 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. Add in 1/3 cup of oyster sauce. Add in 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic and stir. It should total 2.5 cup or 20 ounce. Now pour the base sauce in a bowl. Pour the chicken stock into a measuring cup. Pour in about 2.5 cup. Next, pour the chicken stock into the base sauce. Allow the sauce to sit for 15 minutes so the flavor will come together. Now we are going to make the General Tso sauce. In a bowl, add in 2 cups of sugar. Add in 1 cup of vinegar. This may seem a lot, but we're not going to use all of it. The General Tso sauce should look like this after you mix it. In the meantime, strain the base sauce after about 15 to 20 minutes. Pour in about 3.5 cups. Now pour the base sauce into the General Tso sauce. We're only going to use 1.5 cup to make the General Tso's chicken. Next, slice some green onion roots. Peel and mince 2 cloves of garlic. After chopping the green onions and minced garlic, set it aside. Now let's prepare the chicken. Cut the thighs into bite-sized pieces. You can use white meat if you like. Add in about 1/2 tablespoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of white pepper. 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder. Or 30 milliliters of white wine. Next, add in 1 egg and mix. For extra tenderness, add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Refrigerate the chicken about 20 to 30 minutes. This allows the flavor to penetrate into the meat. After 20 to 30 minutes, add in 1/3 cup of cornstarch and mix. Mix until you do not see the white cornstarch. Add in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. The oil does 2 things. First, it will make the breading smooth. Second, it prevents the thighs from sticking to each other when frying. This is what it should look like. And now we're going to fry it. In a pot or wok, heat the oil to 350. Use a fork to put the thighs into the wok. I'm going to use my hands. Fry for about 4 to 5 minutes or until golden brown. Now it's about 4 minutes into frying. This is what it should look like. The breading should be smooth. Take the chicken out and set it on top of a rack or a paper towel. Now let's make the General Tso's chicken. In a wok, add in 2 tablespoons vegetable oil. Add in the minced garlic and the chopped green onions. Now add in 1.5 cup of General Tso's sauce. Let's make the sauce thickener. In a bowl, add in 1 tablespoon of potato starch or cornstarch and add in 2 tablespoons of water. Add that mixture into the sauce. Once the sauce boils or thickens, add in the fried chicken. Lastly, add in a few drops or half a tablespoon of sesame oil for added flavor. And now we're going to plate the General Tso's chicken.
Alright, sesame chicken is almost exactly the same as General Tso's chicken, except it's not spicy and they sprinkle some sesame sauce over it. Orange chicken is the same as General Tso's chicken, except they put in some orange peels at the end. Mugu Gai Pan, that one is basically chicken and mushroom. Same thing as here, except this one is with white sauce. Let's see how this one is prepared.
Here I have 6 ounces of button mushrooms. Slice the mushrooms into about 1/4 inch in thickness. Cut a small portion off, about 28 grams, 1 ounce of a carrot. Slice a small portion into thin slices. Cut about 100 grams or 3.5 ounce of napa. Separate the leaves from the stalk. Cut the stalks into about 1.5 inch. Here are the ingredients I'm going to use: mushrooms, napas, carrots, snow peas. Next, cut 420 grams of chicken breast into slices. First, cut the breast into halves, then slice the breast into pieces at a 45-degree angle from the thinnest part to the thickest part. Again, here I have 0.92 chicken breast. To that, add in half a teaspoon of salt, a sprinkle of white pepper, about 1/10 of a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 cup of water, and mix. Set it aside and let it marinate for 10 to 15 minutes. The breast will absorb the excess liquid. After about 10 to 15 minutes, add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and mix until you do not see any cornstarch powder. 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil and mix until you do not see any more oil. It should look something like this. Now let's make the slurry thickener. In a cup, add in 1 tablespoon of potato starch and 1 tablespoon of water and stir. In a pot of boiling water, add in 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Bring to a rapid boil and add in the thick vegetables first: mushrooms, napas, carrots, water chestnuts, and bamboo shoots. Let it cook for about 50 seconds to 1 minute. Add in the snow peas and cook for about 15 to 20 seconds. Turn the fire off and scoop out all the vegetables. Reboil the water and add in the chicken breast. Stir the chicken around to separate the chicken pieces. Cook the chicken pieces for about 1 minute 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Take out the chicken pieces. Now, in a wok or pan on medium heat, add in 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of green onion roots, the thick green white parts, and lightly saute it. Add in 1 cup or 237 milliliters low sodium chicken stock. Add in 3/4 teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of shaoxingjiu or sake, a sprinkle of white pepper, about 1/8 teaspoon. Next, add in the potato slurry mixture and stir. Once the sauce thickens or boils, combine the sauce, chicken, and vegetables together and stir or wok it out. Lastly, add in 1 teaspoon of sesame oil and mix. Serve the Mugu Gai Pan with rice and enjoy.
Lemon chicken is a piece of chicken breast that's breaded and deep fried over mixed vegetables, stir fried in brown sauce with lemon sauce on the side. Boneless chicken is a piece of boneless chicken that's deep fried on top of Chinese vegetable that's stir fried in brown sauce. Tachan chicken is, well, the description says tender chicken chunks with fresh vegetable tossed with this spicy and hot bean sauce. Alright, so let's look at some of the other dishes here. Twice cooked pork. This one is a little different. We can come back to this one in the future. Beef. You know how General Tso's beef is prepared by knowing how General Tso's chicken is prepared. Pepper steak with onion is basically pieces of sliced beef with green pepper and onion stir fried in brown sauce. Thai's beef. Well, the description tells you what it is. Let's look at the seafood section. You have shrimp and lobster sauce. This one is a little different. Let's see a video to see how that's done.
Today I'm going to show you how to make shrimp with lobster sauce. Sorry to disappoint you, but there's actually no lobster in this dish. I don't even know why they name it lobster sauce. Here I have 6 peeled and deveined 26-30 size shrimps. Add in 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. Then add in half a cup of water and let it soak for at least a half an hour. The alkaline in the baking soda will make the shrimp firm, bouncy, and crunchy. After 30 minutes or so, drain the water and wash up a couple of times. Add in a wee pinch of salt. Sprinkle a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and mix. Now add in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and mix until you don't see the cornstarch powder. Add in 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil and continue to mix. Now let's make the seasoning. In a cup, add in 3/4 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of chicken powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of sugar. Next, to make the slurry mixture, in a separate cup, put in 1 tablespoon of potato starch and 1 tablespoon of water, and mix. In a pot or wok, bring water to a boil. Add in a 1/4 cup 60 grams of peas and carrots and let it cook for about 20 seconds or so. After 20 seconds, remove the peas and carrots. Next, add in the shrimp and cook for about 50 seconds. You can also pan stir fry this, it doesn't have to be boiled. After 50 seconds, remove the shrimp and discard the water. Next, in the same pot or wok, add in 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. Add in a few chopped green onion roots. This is optional. Lightly saute on a medium-high heat for about 10 seconds or so. Next, add in a cup unsalted chicken stock, preferably. Then add in the mixture of salt, sugar, and chicken powder. Next, add in 1 tablespoon of sherry, cooking, or rice wine. This is optional. Next, add in the slurry mixture while the stock is still warm and stir. The stock will thicken once it comes to a boil. Again, turn off the heat. Next, crack 1 egg and separate the egg whites from the yolk. Beat the egg white until it's watery or liquidy. Now add in the shrimp, peas, and carrots into the thickened sauce. Stir a little bit until the shrimp, peas, and carrots are coated. Add in the egg white while the heat is still off. Spread the egg white evenly and immediately turn the heat on. Gently push the mixture away slowly. Once it turns like this, turn the fire off and add about 1/8 teaspoon of sesame oil just to give it an enhanced flavor and lightly stir. And serve it on top of the rice.
Plain lobster sauce is basically the same as shrimp and lobster sauce, except it doesn't have the shrimp in it. Baby shrimp and bean sprouts, it's the same as shrimp and bean sprouts, except it's done with baby shrimp. By the way, all these dishes up here are all done with jumbo shrimp. The ones on the bottom are all done with baby shrimp, as the name says. Scallop and broccoli, that's just instead of shrimp you have scallop. That's why it falls under the seafood category. Scallop and garlic sauce, that's scallop. Well, that's the same as shrimp with scallop. That's the same as shrimp with garlic sauce, except you have scallop. Crab meat with vegetable, basically same as shrimp with mixed vegetable, except you use crab meat. Alright, so that wraps up the pork, chicken, beef, and seafood categories.